1 year ago, I set off onto an adventure. Physically, I was far from being the best soldier, but being weak and still pushing through makes me proud when looking back at my year in the army. Looking back, we can see, or I can see, so many doors that were opened because of God. So here is my story from the last year when I was in the Finnish military. I hope you enjoy. Now before I start, I want to know, because of Finland's neighbour country, I couldn't film every single thing I ever went through. And being honest, I don't want to be that guy who gives away a bunch of secrets to a possible enemy. But I do believe I got enough content for you guys to enjoy what I went through the past year. So, I started in Kajaani, a small place with nothing but snow and forest and snow and forest. And really, there was nothing more than snow and forest everywhere. So starting off, honestly, the first 2 weeks in the military were the worst. They were the hardest, I would say. It was such a big change from being at home near my wife and going there. So my very first day started at 6 a.m. on the dot. I wake up to a bunch of alikersantis, what are they called? Corporals. To a bunch of corporals saying it's time to get up right now. Everyone up, out from under their bed. At the time, staying under your blanket was probably the biggest sin you could commit. So I didn't want to be that guy, so I was up. But yeah, the very first thing I remember was shining light, burning into my eyes. I couldn't see anything. It was like a flashbang. It was all just white. People telling me to get up right now. So at that moment, I just took a breath and I was like, here we go. Now it begins. That was the first day of 347 days, probably more, of my time in the military. I made my bed the best that I could, as they had taught us the day before how to make it. There weren't allowed to be any wrinkles in the bed, or then you'd have to fix it. Do it over again. I want to note, the Finnish military does not allow bullying, like shown in this video. This is my good friend, and that's the only reason I did this. I made my bed the best that I could. From there, I had just enough time to go to the toilet, go brush my teeth, take a shower. And as everyone else had to do the same thing, everyone has to take a shower, or everyone has to have good hygiene there. Everyone else wanted to go take a shower. And so my shower was not warm. It was cold, as 150 other people were taking a shower at the same time within the same places where I was. Looking back at the showers at the very first 2 weeks, it was horrible. It was so, in Kajaani, the first place that I was, there were no doors on the showers. So people would be brushing their teeth and either they're looking up at the roof, the ground, or forwards where you are, your naked body. And at a point, a lot of people just didn't care anymore. And I get it, people don't care in the military. But at first it was like absolutely horrible. People looking at me, seeing naked people. Yeah, I wasn't totally into that. But over time you got used to it, and really, to be honest, no one gives a crap. No one cares. It was a cold shower, so it was a fast shower. It's good. In and out, next person comes in, out, yeah, easy. So moving on from the shower and brushing teeth, quickly got all my outside stuff off, and we had to march to food. The thing is, we had to wait around 15 minutes outside before leaving, and it was like minus 30 Celsius, whatever that is, in Fahrenheit right here. And now looking back at 15 minutes, at the time, it was horrible. But that's nothing compared to what I've went through during the year. That was my first 2 weeks. I've easily been outside 8 to 12 hours straight in freezing cold. 15 minutes is nothing compared to 8 hours.
This is how we eat. Kuvata meidän konahtaa, että kuvakaan tää pusikossa.
We're gonna remember those are my first 2 weeks. At the time, I was thinking, what have I got myself into? The thing is, I could have just continued studying my theology, as I am studying right now. I could have just kept on doing that, went another year, but I chose, I wanted to grow as a man, as a human being, and I wanted to go to the military. And I remember at that moment just asking, what have I got myself into? What am I doing? Just standing there in the cold, like, what am I doing? But eventually we got inside and I quickly ate all my food and then quickly got back to the barracks where we were training our first days. Like we learned how things are done, how we speak to people. So like, I'm not sure how it goes in English, but it's like, Herra alikersantti, alokas Licciardo-Toivola, saisinko ottaa vettä? And then we moved on to how to clean the room. And cleaning is maybe the most important thing. Before I became a leader, which I do become a leader later on, cleaning was probably the most important thing ever in the army. Nothing beat having a clean room. That was the most important. I've got a clip of us cleaning. This is how it typically went. Moving on to training, my very first mission, so to say. And that was skiing to the shooting range and then shooting for the very first time. Now, skiing, I hate skiing over everything. Like, at least with the army's skis. Normally you have your really nice shoes when you go skiing. You have these really nice looking shoes. And then you got these really thin skis that go full on speed. We had this plank looking, they're like planks, and you got a friggin' rubber boot. What do you call it? You call them wellies? I don't know. I've never heard of wellies, but rubber boots that you put on, and you put those on. And the thing is, when you're going forwards, I remember at one point having my feet, like my skis like this, and then looking like this, moving my whole body to the side. So my feet are like this. They move to the side and the skis are staying down forwards so they don't turn. And I had to ski 5 kilometers with like, one of my boots were just like, I don't know. And I remember honestly crying. I actually ended up a little bit like, a few tears came out of my face and I was just like, what am I doing here? So 5 kilometers, just one of my shoes just came off the whole time. It was way too big. The skis did not turn at all. My leg was going across the ground, but I made it eventually. I pushed through. I scored. I was on the way just praying, Lord, help me. I can't do this. I hate this so much. And I got there. And now we're at the shooting range. So the shooting range went actually really well. I had a talent in shooting. I did so well, like 59 out of 60. I hit the middle at, I think it was 150 meters. Was it 150? Without any scope, I was hitting 59 out of 60 over and over again. I never got 60 out of 60, so maybe I'm not that good. But I was motivated to become a marksman. I wanted to be a sniper person. So yeah, I wanted to become a marksman, and I do believe that if I set my mind onto it, I could have made it there, because I had a pretty good shot and I was ready to like lift up my strength. And once again, I was no super soldier at the time. It was just all inside wanting to do better in life. But then, if any of you guys have seen my last video, yeah, so I never became a marksman, I became a priest, which is quite funny, from someone who takes life to someone who kind of gives life in a way. And that's kind of deep. That is kind of deep. Someone is screwing the walls outside. So yeah, now, how did I become a priest? Or actually, I wasn't a priest, I was a conscript priest. If I say priest in the future, I'm a conscript priest. Yeah, I don't know, I'm a little bit dumb, but let's go. But how this happened was the military chaplain was speaking in his own kind of lecture, and then he said, if anyone is studying theology, just study it. Come and talk to him, because you can become a conscript priest. And so I went to talk to him, and the very first speed bump came my way, or a door that was closed. The thing is, you had to be a Lutheran, and I am not a Lutheran. I am actually in the Pentecostal movement. And no, I do not have the gift of speaking in tongues, so I can't do that. Sorry, guys. Moving on. As I said earlier, God opened up doors that were very shut, and so he opened this door up. Some people will say that I was just lucky, but they allowed me to become a conscript priest. As we look forwards at my year going on, it's as if you're throwing a dice and it just hits on number 6 over and over and over again. And anyone sane would say, yeah, it's rigged. And that's what I feel like my past year has been like. It felt a little bit rigged in a way. But if you want to call it luck, you can call it luck. I feel like it was a blessing. So eventually, before I did get accepted as a conscript priest, there was this little moment of like, oh no, what am I going to do? Am I going to make it? I prayed about it a lot and God opened the door for me. I'm not a Lutheran and still I got accepted as a conscript priest, and it's not normal for this to happen. They said it themselves, and yeah, I was blessed. Now, since I lived around 4 hours away, that would mean that I have to be 8 hours away from my wife out of my own free time. So Friday and Sunday, I would drive there and back most of the time for 4 hours each way. So I had this nice idea of asking the captain, is it possible for me to move from Kajaani to a place much closer to home, which is 20 minutes from here? And his response was like this. He said he hasn't ever had a conscript priest come to him in the 10 years that he has been working there. So I was the first one for him, for that captain in that barrack. And he continued by saying that the only way that he would allow me to leave that garrison was if someone else took my spot for me in Kajaani. And the thing is, I was the only conscript priest that signed up that half a year at the start of 2023. And as you know, long distance relationships are really not nice, and it was a lot like that. I was all the time at the army and Yen was at home, and that extra 8 hours is a whole day to be together with my beautiful wife. Having this it was very important to me. And the captain kind of was like, it's kind of impossible, but if this happens and this happens, yeah, sure. The chances of someone else taking my place is wildly low. And then comes an older soldier who's going to be leaving in around 3 months or something. He had some change of heart where he wanted to become a priest. And so he became a priest, and that door opened up for me. And I got to move to Tikkakoski, which is like 20 minutes away. And it's like really funny. 10 years, no one. I'm the only conscript priest in the whole Finland that signed up. And this one guy is exactly where I am. I think okay, lucky, sure. Moving on. Well, I also wanted to become a leader. That door instantly got closed for me. The same captain that said if I want to become a leader. But since I moved to Tikkakoski, it kind of opened up the possibility. But I had to be 6 weeks as a security guard soldier. I don't know, is that how you say it?
I got a red dot the other day. That's pretty cool.
There's the red dot.
And this is where I'm guarding this place. It's been very hard to vlog, but here we are vlogging with my gun. So cool. But I'm a pastor, so I'm not going to shoot anyone, I don't think, ever. Hopefully not.
And so I did 6 weeks of security guard soldiering stuff, and I also did priest stuff at the same time, so learned to become a priest. I also went to a place called Hamina, where I got to learn more about being a priest and what it's like in the army and what my job is. If you are interested in seeing what a priest does in the army, where there's guns and killing and protection, all that stuff, you can go watch my video. At the end of this video, there'll be a link on the screen. I'll put it up here then. But yes, moving on, you can go watch that after this if you are very interested. And by the way, if you have not subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe and like this video. It helps me so much. Even comment something. I love reading comments and I heart a lot of them. I really like to be in contact with you guys. And I want to say I'm sorry that I have been gone for like 6 months. So much is going on. I don't have time. But I'm trying my best. 6 weeks go by and then I'm told, hey, you got into the leadership course. Which is crazy because I was, again, not the best soldier. Like, I wasn't physically the strongest. I was at the more end side. If there's pros, medium, and then not good people, I was probably in the middle at the very end, I would say. I could even go almost to the best of the worst, but like, I was no super soldier over here. But I got blessed and I got in, and that was crazy. That was so good. So yeah, I got into the leadership school and I had to train as a security guard soldier while also being a priest at the same time. It was a little bit confusing at points, but I pretty much had to have a gun and do absolutely everything everyone else did. So I had to go through the crap that everyone else goes through. And it's a really good thing because now or later on, if you go look at my other video, I understand how people feel in the army instead of just being this guy who's had a nice warm cup of coffee and reads the Bible all day. No, that's not what it is. I had a gun. I had to stay up at night. I had to have my, what's it called? At night where you heat the tent up so everyone else can sleep and keep watch. I had to keep watch and wake up the next person and go to sleep after that. Like, I don't know what that's called, but I did all that. I was a security guard soldier for 6 months as a leader, and that was really hard. I can honestly say it was such a hard job. The thing is, my mold or who I am doesn't really fit the security guard mold so well. Because there are people, like as a security guard, it's a lot of standing around and protecting. It's like using brute force to take down people and stuff. And my strength is not in my muscles. I don't want to sound all prideful. It's just my strength is somewhere else. But I still made it through. My friends helped me. Thank you so much to all my friends that we still keep in contact. Thank you so much for getting me through it. They helped me so much. Like, yeah, during the leadership schooling, I felt a little bit left out in a way. I was a little bit of the odd one, I would say. Yes, it felt a little bit discouraging sometimes, but I was more of a thinker than the typical man or woman in the security guard area. I'm not putting anyone down because everyone is very important we all work towards the same goal, and there's some people who have strength somewhere else than someone else. I had more of the thinking and caring side for people, and these other men and women had the power to overtake anyone and put them on the ground and put them in their place, which is a very hard job to do. But I didn't fit that mold so well. I tried my best, but eventually I did make it through the leadership school and I was upgraded or promoted to a corporal. Since I became a corporal, I got to go down my very own path as a conscript priest. And if you are very interested, you can wait to the end of this video, or if you really want to see it now, there's a link somewhere here or here. You can press that and see what I do as a conscript priest. And I just want to say, it's more than sharing God's word. It's a lot more than just that. And a lot of the time, it's not even that. But yeah, as I said, I fit right into my job, my priest job, and it felt so much better. Yeah, so during my last 6 months, I started doing conscript priest stuff. At the very last 2 weeks that I was there, I can't believe what happened. I was upgraded into a sergeant. And I feel extremely blessed because I don't feel like I was able to hold that position in a way. Or like I feel like I don't deserve the promotion because there's people who do a lot of hard work, and I'm speechless. I didn't know I was gonna upgrade as a sergeant at all. I was not ready for that. I really couldn't believe when it happens, and still to this day I am so grateful and I don't understand, but thank you for seeing the good in me to the military, Finnish military. I don't want to sound prideful. In a way, I believe that God puts us in the right places at the right time, and a lot of the time, our part of doing a good job is very small when God has set everything up for us. So that is what happened to me in the next things coming. My military chaplain, the guy who was actually taking care of me and taught me a lot of the things like the Lutheran ways and stuff, because I didn't know them, but he was very loving. He helped me, and he also carried a lot of my burdens that I was going through, as I have been depressed in the past, and now I'm feeling much better. And a few things happened in my family, if anyone knows, but I'm not here to talk about that right now. That's another video. But my military chaplain said that my presence was a blessing from God. He got information not only from soldiers, but higher ups and civilians who came to him and said that I feel bad. I feel like I hate talking so good about myself in a way, but it's a video. A lot of thoughts are going through my mind right now. But a lady started crying and she was saying how nice it was that I was with her. And yeah, I didn't know I affected her life, but she said thank you very much to my military chaplain, which my military chaplain came to me and said that my presence is a big blessing, and that this woman opened up. And again, why I'm saying this is not out of pride. Maybe it's more that maybe there's a point that I don't feel like I was worthy for the job. I didn't think that I could do the things that I was put into. Doors were closed that I could have never opened, and I was promoted into a place where my words mattered. Still to this day, I don't understand. The point that I want to get across is that even if it's impossible, if God has a plan for you, nothing can stop it. He has his way no matter what. He's God. And I just want you to remember that God is in control of your life. Even when it feels like a mess, even though doors are closed and it looks impossible, God can turn it all into good. And that's what he did during that last year. Honestly, over and over again, I did not deserve the promotion. I was in the right place at the right time. I've been told, I didn't hear the things that I heard growing up when I was in the army. Like when I was in the army, I heard good things about me, and I didn't. I hope you guys got the point that I'm pushing. Just trust God. He's got you. And if you don't know who God is, well, he loves you. Okay, so moving on. I am now studying theology. I went back to the theology school that I am studying at. I was studying at Isokirja, and all my money and time goes into that. Now, before I say anything, I want you all to know that this is totally optional. And the very last thing is that I would want someone to think this is just a money grab video. No. I have never received financial help from my family, as a lot of people have thought that during the 5 years that I've been married, but that isn't true, and that's again another video. But yeah, I have opened up a Patreon and also my super thanks and join button down below. If you feel like you want to support me financially, you can do that very optionally. And if you can't do that, if you can't even give a cent, subscribing, liking and commenting helps me just so much. You don't even know. It grows my channel, which also gives me more revenue, and it helps me to continue living and studying. This school that I am in is not free. I have to drive there every single day, which takes so much money, and also the school itself costs money. Yeah, I'm in the Iso-Kirja school in Finland at Keuru, if anyone is interested in that. If I do end up being able to make money off of YouTube, I'll be more motivated to make videos, and also I will be able to make videos. I also have to get a job during the summer so I can continue studying, because I really want to study. It's my passion. I want to know theology and see where God takes me from there. I don't know where he's taking me, but I really care about this stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Here is the video about me being a priest and what I do as a priest. It's an update video. You can skip forwards if you want, but watch the whole video, it helps me. Thank you so much for watching. I really love you guys. Thank you so much. I will say bye bye now, and God bless you.